Hi, I'm Dana Kervin, the Houston Association of Realtors Chief Political Strategist. Today, it's my honor to have in the HAR TV studio my friend and colleague, Mark Lehman, who's the Texas Association of Realtors Vice President of Governmental Affairs. We've had an exciting morning this morning because we spent half a day with about 125 members teaching them the ropes about political affairs and why it's important for them to be involved. So Mark, share with us why this is important to the real estate community.
First of all, thank you very much for having me here and being on HAR TV. It's a real pleasure. This coming political season, which leads into next legislative session, is going to be incredibly crucial for the real estate industry because we are going into this session with a substantial deficit. Anywhere for estimates from $10 billion, that's with a B, up to $15 billion, which the state will have to make up in a revenue shortfall. That is critical to us because when they look for ways to make up this money, our industry is always in the bullseye when it comes to things like a real estate transfer tax, tax on services, so therefore the real estate organizations through HAR and the Texas Association of Realtors stays very, very vigilant in the legislative process, seeing that they don't pass taxing efforts primarily that are very detrimental to our industry, but also more importantly to our overall economy of this state, such as a real estate transfer tax or tax on services or extra burdens to the cost of owning a home. One of the reasons that Texas is not being victimized like those other states are is because we've taken strong measures to oppose a real estate transfer tax. One of the only states in the union that does not have one. That does, in fact, just recently I met with a group of developers from California that were telling me at a modest subdivision they were putting in outside of Sacramento. They pulled out of it, moved to Texas to start a project because it was costing them over $100,000 in fees and transfer taxes just to buy the land to start on very noble issues like save the whales and environmental concerns that they had to pay that we're passing on to the consumer. You can imagine what that does to the overall real estate market.
But what can one member do? I feel as though one member might feel as though it's not enough. But collectively,
we are very fortunate to have a very respected, very powerful association operating in the Capitol in Austin. And the reason it is because our members are involved in our association. There are three types of lobby efforts at the Capitol in Austin. Those that seem to have a lot of money and not a whole lot of grassroots and political involvement. Trial lawyers are a group like that. Some of the big industries, the insurance companies don't have a lot of grassroots involvement. Then you have a lot of groups such as AARP and Mothers Against Drunk Driving and things like that that have a lot of grassroots but no financial backing. And then you get Texas Association of Realtors, who's the largest political action committee in the state and the largest grassroots involvement. So it is and we are a collection of a lot of individuals doing a little bit. And it is investment in your industry, so I encourage anybody who is in real estate to be involved in the governmental affairs and political affairs process with TREPAC, which is, it's our financial network to help elect candidates. All we do with TREPAC dollars is elect candidates that share our philosophy that private property rights are sacred and that real estate is a driving economic force in this state and that do things to protect homeowners and their ability to buy and sell property. That's great. Also, that has to be coupled with a strong grassroots involvement. Calls to action. I know it makes a huge difference when one person takes that extra step when we send those out saying, please contact your legislature by just clicking on this button to let them know how you feel on a very important issue, such as federal issues, such as extending the federal tax credit for first-time home buyers, opposing some of these cap and trade issues that are very devastating to the overall economy, to local issues that might be coming up before your city council. And then, of course, on the state level, whenever we have votes coming before the legislature, we're constantly having to hone in on legislators who may just need to hear from realtors. We strongly encourage involvement in that, but most importantly, we're going into a campaign season, one of the most difficult and exciting we've ever had. And we strongly encourage realtors to get involved in your state rep, state senate races. We've got several contested races. In the primary's March 2nd. The governor's race on down, supporting candidates that support real estate issues. I would like to point out the governmental affairs section of texasrealtors.com, where there are all kinds of efforts for people to sign up on our governmental affairs programs, and also well, there's ways to invest in the PAC, but also to be more informed on our issues. So I encourage everyone to participate in that and be involved in these programs. As we go into the election year, I also encourage, the way I actually got started in politics was through involvement in political parties. That makes a difference, and plus it's a lot of fun. Going to your precinct convention on March 2nd after the polls close, we ask people that's on our website to pass the American Dream Resolution, which becomes part of hopefully the political platform of both the Republican and Democrat Party. That just states in there how important property ownership is and sets the groundwork when legislators go into the legislative process. But hopefully you go to the county, to your precinct convention on election night. That's followed by a county or senatorial convention, followed by a state convention. This year we don't have a presidential election, so we don't have a national convention to deal with. But it is a very rewarding, extremely important process. And the more we're involved, the better off we are.
Well, thank you, Mark, for sharing your thoughts and your visions with us today. We'll continue to keep you posted through watching HAR TV. Thank you for watching.
Thank you for having me.